special election to fill the vacant District 4 seat on the San Diego County Board of Supervisors is now 5 days away.
And 4 candidates are running for the position vacated by Nathan Fletcher. That winner will serve out the remainder of his term, which ends in 2027. And one of those candidates is San Diego City Council member Monica Montgomery Stepp, who joins us live here in the Fox 5 studios. Councilmember, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You've been on the City Council for 4 years now for District 4. Why are you making the jump to the county board now?
Well, I think the model that I have brought to the city with regard to building out a community governance model and keeping people in neighborhoods and communities first as we decide on policy decisions, bringing that to a broader scale to the county that has such a larger jurisdiction, a larger budget, and is a public health agency and deals with mental health services and behavioral health services, which are things we really need right now. I really think that I'm primed to be there and have the most experience to be able to do the best job.
Okay, so as you were telling us, this is obviously a bigger scale, going from a city position, pursuing a county position. With that comes some challenges, certainly. Let's talk a little bit about the San Diego Police Officers Association, which has spent a lot of money to try to put out some campaign flyers, and I think we have a view of that to show everybody. Attacking your stance on law enforcement, calling you a threat to public safety. So when you see that, you hear that, what's your reaction?
Well, I have to stick to the work and I have to stick to my record. And my record shows that of being a council member for almost 5 years, I voted for an increase in the police budget every single year. One of my first votes as a council member was to approve bonuses for officers who would invite people into the department for a lateral bonus for those officers. I've also supported first-time homebuyer programs for police officers. So there are many things that I've supported, retention and recruitment efforts for the department. I believe and want every single person in this entire region to be and feel safe, and my record shows that it's important to me. So I'll stick to the record and stick to the work.
What are they saying about your stance that you think is not correct?
Well, number one, the term police defender, I think, is very misleading. But also just the concerning part about this rhetoric is that we actually work with officers every single day. And so the programs that I have championed at the City Council, including the No Shots Fired program, that's a collaborative effort of community members and police officers. And I really feel bad that their work is being, placed out into the public in this way. We've decreased gang homicides across the city by 65% in the last year. And if you look at District 4, which covers the majority of the Southeastern Division, our overall crime rate has actually gone down. And so, yes, we still have major issues and we need to continue to work together. But that's the part that's really concerning to me. So.
You've pushed for criminal justice reform and more accountability. Where do you think that accountability should be?
Yeah, and I think that's certainly a part of this conversation, that as much as I have supported the police department, I also support the police department in calling for accountability for officers that are not doing their job, right? And I think we have accountability across the board. I, myself, have to be held accountable as an elected official. I think we should run to accountability and not run from it. And so I think the Independent Commission on Police Practices helps us to get there. We've also, had a voice in some of the state measures that increase the thresholds and increase the amount of accountability over excessive use of force. So we've done quite a few things, but I think it's part of the balance that we all have to have, especially as leaders in this region.
No question that homelessness is a big issue for the city of San Diego, for the county of San Diego. What have you done as a member of the city council you think that has worked, that would be to your advocacy, and maybe what hasn't worked, and what would you bring to the county if you were to become a member of the board?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the possibility of being at the county because, as I stated in the very beginning of this interview, they have the infrastructure to provide the type of wraparound services that I think should be offered to people who are unhoused and who are living on the street. One of the programs, the No Shots Fired program, really focuses on wrap-around services, and it's been a little bit challenging because the city does not have the accessibility that the county does to those types of services. So even though that program has been very successful, doing something like that on a broader scale, having targeted outreach that goes specifically to the problems and issues that people are dealing with.
For those who don't know what wraparound services, what does that include?
That includes social services. It includes ability to get help to be housed. It includes, family resources. It includes all types of things. It looks at the whole person and holistically helps them to get the help that they need if they want it. If they want that help, it should be available to them.
There's certainly no doubt that if you were to be supervisor, you'd have a lot more resources available to you. But in this county, we just don't have enough affordable housing. What would you do to help fix that problem right now?
So affordable housing is extremely important to me. There is a lot of tension in our communities and our neighborhoods just because of the way that the city is growing, and certainly tension is not always a bad thing. You know, we need folks to hold us accountable to the way that we're building out, but I do believe in smart growth, and I've supported affordable housing projects within my current community that I represent, and I think it's important. We need to have affordable housing also in our higher resourced areas to make sure that we're building out communities where people can thrive, they can afford to live. Housing is just really the #1 economic issue of our time right now, and we've been able to show across the nation that reduced housing costs helps us with inflation. So housing is important, and we need to build smartly, but we certainly need to build.
All right, very good. Councilmember, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming here and talking to us and giving us a chance to ask you a few questions ahead of the election, now 5 days away. Councilmember Monica Montgomery Steppe, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, thank
you.
you. And you can find tonight's full interview as well as all of our interviews with the candidates by visiting our website, fox5sandiego.com.